He's a brilliant agent of espionage, an intellectual of his time. But above all, he's one of the most essential characters representing childhood wonder in literature, and all under the alias of Edward Bear. But we all know him as Winnie the Pooh, and he's today's subject of our drawing lesson.
So for Winnie the Pooh, what I'd first like you to do is draw an egg shape, right? Starting in the middle of your paper, and remember when we always draw nice and soft. Then once you got your egg down, you're going to give him a football shape, and it's going to cut through the top of the egg. And the left side will be pointing up a little more than the one on the right. Give him a little smile right here. Point up a little bit more. Up. Then meet back at that point. Through that football, I'd like for you to give him a circle. Start right about here. Be a nice medium-sized circle. Start curving in. Might even touch the egg a little bit. Then back around to the top. The next thing I'd like you to do is to give him two train tunnels. One right about here on the left side. And the right side, kind of at an angle. Because as you can see, there's a shape that's starting to turn out right about here. And to make that a more familiar shape, go to just a little below those ears and meet at the side of the curve and make a nice soft line that meets where the points of the football are. Same thing on the right side. And now the next thing I'd like for you to do, friendly artist, is to erase most of the circle, not all of it. Leave a little bit in the middle and do the same thing for the football. Erase a little bit in the middle of the ears. Now below that curve, that top curve, I want you to give him a little curve that mimics that one, a shorter one. And where you see that curve for the football, I'm going to go ahead and darken that in and go ahead and erase that top part of the egg, where you can then give him a mouth, which is just a little letter U with a little hill inside for his tongue. And go ahead and do what that line is doing. Go ahead and mimic this curve just a little bit, just to give him a bottom lip. And Winnie the Pooh has two small dotted eyes, and they kind of go at an angle, and they're just above the curve of his nose. Another thing Winnie the Pooh has are two distinctive eyebrows, and they start with points but then broaden out a bit at the top. So start with a point and get broad at the top. And then you can go ahead and darken those in. But he's still missing something that he uses to sniff out honey in the trickiest of spots. His nose, exactly. And that is just a triangle, curved triangle at the top, but with a point going down. Then you can darken that in, or if you want to leave a little bit at the top, a little bit of light reflection. And now you have a very familiar face. But now, to keep on going, let's go ahead and give him the rest of his body. To start with, giving him a good wide check right about here where that left side of the egg is. It's going to check off here and then curve up all around and stop right about the edge of that corner of the face would be. Then we're going to give him right about here below his cheek an upside down check. That's going to be his collar. It's going to start right here, then hook off and then meet just to the left of that check. Now we're going to give him an upside down U right about here. And then you can curve that U to close it off right here. Now we've got the top of his sleeve, because this is just going to hook down to that sleeve and then around and into it. Now he needs his arms. So the next thing we're going to do is give him a curved line, kind of like a backwards J. That starts about here on the left side of that sleeve, going down and then around and then up, because the next thing we're going to do is give him a line that kind of curves from here, and that can meet back to give him his little paw. And on the other side, we'll go ahead and give him a shirt by starting with this line, and then it'll go out just a little bit because Winnie the Pooh kind of has a little bit of a tummy. So we're going to give him a little bit of a curve, starting up, and then it'll dip down and into the arm right here. And then we can darken in this line, but not all the way. We're going to stop right about here because we're going to give him some room for his legs. We want to give a hint of his other arm. Just give him a little line here on the left side, then it can go back in to the shirt, and then the other line for the arm can just go down and around and into his body right here. Then you can go ahead and erase all the lines in between. I'm also going to give him a little line just for his collar, right about here, just for a little detail. And then for his legs, finally, we're going to give him an upside down J, starting right about here, nice and light. We'll curve down, down, stop right about there, because he doesn't have really long legs. So we're going to start right here, kind of mimic that line, do what that line's doing. Around, and just go a little past that line, because the next thing we're going to do is give him one bump or a hill, and then stop, and then close it off by giving him a line that connects to that back line. And for the left leg, we're going to do two lines. One, you can kind of fit it right here, just a hint of that line, two. And then we're going to do the same thing that this does, which is a hill and then a line closing it off. And now you erase that line, the bottom of the A, and there you have it. In all his fluff and stuff, one that reminds me of my own from my childhood and from many other readers' childhoods, Winnie the Pooh. This is always, friendly artists. It was a pleasure drawing with you. TTFN, ta-ta for now.